What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Champ Bobbitt, co-founder of Skyton Academy, and this is episode 81 of Dot Connect Wednesdays. We're going to call this episode the Rug Pull Rodeo, right? There's a lot of things that's been going on in this space, and there's a lot of different sectors that we all kind of are abreast of, right? Even if you're new coming into the space, you've heard about multiple sectors. And if you're a member of Skyton Academy, then you definitely know about the various sectors that are available to you, right? And for you to partake in. But the one thing that we strive on, right, is knowing that we've done our absolute best to be unwavering in the pursuit of learning, moving through the space with confidence, but also protecting each and every single one of our students. Now, there has been a ton of interest in meme coins, right? So, I myself, I can only speak for me. I myself would be doing you guys a huge disservice if I didn't tell you about the pros and the cons. And when I sat back and I was thinking about what I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about today, it made me realize there aren't a whole lot of a whole lot of pros to meme coins, right? Meme coins is a phenomenon where you're basically gambling. There's no investment involved, right? You are literally shaking the dice and rolling them. However they fall is however they fall, right? There are a multitude of ways, there's tools, there's knowledge that you should have, even if you're just doing meme coins, right? There's a level of expertise that's needed for you to even remotely be profitable in that arena. But they call that space the Deegan space, right? They call it the trenches in crypto. So, what I want to talk to you guys today about is the bad side, right? Because so many people are showing interest, and we've been telling you guys on purpose and intentionally stay away from meme coins, right? Especially when you're fresh in a crypto. Stay away from them. What that is going to do is that it's going to keep money inside of your pockets. That's going to keep your confidence high, right? As you learn and you don't feel rushed and you don't have too much experience in four letters, right? FOMO. And again, all of our members, you guys know exactly what this is about. FOMO, the fear of missing out. We dropped a course for you guys. It's part of your monthly membership. If you have not taken that course, do so immediately, right? That is going to sit you in your seat and that is going to make you just like literally take a step back and take a deep breath. Because meme coins are not all they're cracked up to be. Steve calls them lightning in a bottle. So without further ado, I'm going to walk you guys through meme coins, the rugs that have happened just in this past week. And this is going to basically double down on why we tell you guys stay away from meme coins. All right. So without further ado, let's dive right in. The first topic is going to be Libra. Libra Libra is a meme coin, right? This came from the Argentinian president Javier Milei, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right. But he pulled off a alleged $200 million rug pull. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself for a financial scandal unlike any other. Imagine a world where a sitting president, yes, the leader of an entire nation, uses his influence to orchestrate one of the most shocking pump and dump schemes in crypto history. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. This is the actual story of Javier Milei, the Argentinian president, rugging the entire market with Libra's meme coin. And guess what blockchain this was launched on? Solana. This left thousands of investors, literally thousands, empty handed while pocketing allegedly 200 million. So I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory. Javier Milei, he's no ordinary politician. He's an outspoken economist and self-proclaimed libertarian. He took office as the president of Argentina back in 2023, and he vowed to dismantle the nation's failing economy and implement radical financial reforms. So he built a reputation based on fierce criticism of Argentina's economic policies that currently existed. He slammed their central bank and he was advocating for the abolition of the peso. He wanted it gone, period. And he even suggested that Bitcoin be the country's financial alternative. But what if this is one of the biggest economic plays and not just reform whatsoever? What if this was a well calculated crypto heist? Sit with that question for a second. Now, I'm going to tell you guys about the power of influence. Milei, he ensured that everybody who invested in Libra, or not even invested, who gambled with Libra, was exit liquidity. So put this in context. This guy has a huge social media following, of course, because he's the president. So his influence is undeniable. His Twitter account or his official X account, um, just so you guys can check it out for yourself. It's at JMILEI, right? He boasts over 3.8 million followers, and this is essentially a built-in exit liquidity machine. All it took was one single post, a single endorsement. It was a X post. I'm going to share exactly what it looked like so you guys can understand how minimal the post was, but how big this was and how much influence he has, right? The entire crypto world took notice once he hit post. All right. And that's all it took. No prior announcements, no roadmap, no fundamental value whatsoever. Without warning, he posted the contract address claiming it was a way for people to support the Argentinian government. And that one endorsement of a meme coin was a feeding frenzy. So his actual tweet says, "Liberal Argentina grows. This private project will be dedicated to encouraging the growth of the Argentine economy by funding small Argentine businesses and startups. The world wants to invest in Argentina." He gave a website, he gave the actual Libra coins contract address, and he put $Libra, long live freedom, damn it, with exclamation points. This was the tweet. Just so you understand how minimal that was. It was literally 3 sentences, a website, a contract address. He put the $ of the project and said, "Long live freedom." Wild. So I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly what occurred, right? And this is the pump and dump in real time. So the launch was just essentially textbook market manipulation. So Libra's market cap, it went from 900 million before the contract address was even public, right? This was all insiders. Understand this. Once he put out that tweet that I just read, retail investors then rushed in. They pushed the value all the way up to $4.5 billion. So from the launch, which was on Valentine's Day, all of these launches, all of these projects that I'm going to talk to you guys about today, they all launched on Valentine's Day, right? How ironic. It's supposed to be the day of love, the heart day, right? Nobody felt the love except for the insiders of all these projects. It went up 25,000% to $4.5 billion. And then a merciless, brutal collapse. In a flash, Libra plummeted from 4.5 billion to $636 million market cap. The people who lost money, regular investors, regular people having the hopes of, hey, I want to invest in meme coins. I want to make a whole bunch of money at the drop of a dime and get out the way. You guys are always going to be the ones that get consumed. The people who profited was Milei and all of his insiders. It was a network of wallets. So let me see if I can share my screen just so I can show you guys how this chart looks. It's nasty work. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at this chart. This is nasty work. So it's already marked up for you. This is the actual chart from February 14th, 2025 through February 15th, 2025. This is from the peak of the green candle all the way down to the low. 13 hours. Everybody who invested here got cooked. You know where the tweet happened? The tweet happened about this range right here, in this area, right? Once the president put up the tweet, Libra contract address, everybody attacked. Shot up. Boom. 4.5 billion on the market cap. As soon as everybody got in, all the insider wallets dumped. Everybody. This is nasty. So when we say exit liquidity, that's everybody here that wants to fuck around and find out. Excuse my French. You guys still thirsty for memes? This is not the first, this is not the last, this is not the only time. This is going to continue to happen. And this is, look at the time span. So imagine you just throwing money at something, thinking you're going to get in and get right back out. When you got people who are sitting on millions of tokens, millions of dollars worth of tokens. And as soon as they see that liquidity run up and that market cap run up, they dump it right on you. Boom. You can't compete with that. This is 13 hours of time. Factor in time difference, etc. This is nasty work. Man, that hurts to literally look at and just watch. That hurts my soul. But you see it in real time. That drop took probably 3 hours, 4 hours to happen, right? In real time. Once it hit the peak, that's half of the time it took for it to go. He made the tweet, boom. Rest of the market just crashed. It tanked on everybody. This is why I don't want you guys investing whatsoever into meme coins. All right? So now it gets even darker. So I did a little bit of on-chain analysis, right? The on-chain analysis revealed that every single top trader that was in Libra was connected to Melee. Every single top trader. So that just wasn't a lucky few of people that made some bread. That was an orchestrated wealth transfer. Nasty work. Absolutely. So I'm looking right now at a chart. And the chart is the screenshot. On the screenshot, it shows 12 wallets. And these 12 wallets, I'm just going to give you guys a couple examples. The first wallet, they bought in 1.1 million. This is in dollars, right? US dollars. They bought in 1.1 million. They sold off with 7.2 million. So they made 6.1. That's the first person. Second person, they bought in with 1 million. They got out with 6.6 million. So they made $5.6 million. The third wallet, they bought in with 2.9 million. He got out with 8.1 million. So he made 5.2 million. Fourth person put in 500K. He got out with $5.2 million. He made 4.7 million. The list goes on. I mean, I literally have 12 wallets, and there's more that I could just continue to do this with. The total amount of holders that were impacted, that got rugged, was 36,492 people. Do me a favor in the chat. I just want to see this. I'm curious. Y'all still want to invest in meme coins? I'm gonna ask that question, and I'm gonna do this like kind of quietly. Y'all sure? Y'all still want to fuck around and find out? Okay. All right, just check it. I just want to whisper it. You know what I mean? I just wanted to make sure. Like, 'cause I'm not tripping, and people are still they're still not going to understand how impactful this is. The rule of the game is they're first in, they're first out. So it doesn't matter at what point you finally get into it. They're already preloaded, ready to dump on you. That's what they do. This is why we teach you guys projects with real world use case, real world utility, none of the fluff, none of the BS. All right. So here's another thing. The bigger question is if you guys can see this, right? And you got Champ driving a boat right now, and I'm showing you in real time, right? Real live data that shows you it was a couple of wallets. There was 36 plus thousand people who was impacted. And there's maybe 20 wallets that was profitable. That's wild as hell to think that you could literally be that quote unquote lucky to get into a project once you hear about it. And 9 times out of 10, you're hearing about it when it's too late. You putting your hard earned money into something, thinking you're going to come up when it doesn't happen like that. Crypto, yes, there is a wild, wild west aspect to it, right? That was before we had regulations around the world and before we had this landscape that we're currently in. Things are changing rapidly, yes. But this is not one of those situations where you literally could just roll the dice and just say, I know for sure I'm going to hit and I'm out the way. It just don't work like that. 99.99% of the time, you're going to be the person that gets cooked. The people who've been in the project or insiders or people with big bags who got the affluence, who got the connections, and they've been in the project, as soon as you get in, they dump it right on your head top. So understand, this is just one instance. But the bigger question that I'm sitting with right now is the fallout, how this affects Solana and the crypto market as a whole. So for the past couple of days, we literally been trading sideways. And this scandal, along with a couple others that we're gonna go over, this doesn't just hurt the Libra quote unquote investors, it puts the entire Solana ecosystem at risk. So Solana has already been struggling with an increasing number of scams and rug pulls. But when a sitting president sitting at the center of a scheme like this, it shatters trust, not just in the meme coins, but in the legitimacy of a blockchain and that blockchain itself. So here's the real danger. If governments or world leaders see crypto as a quick cash grab, they could completely undermine its purpose, right? Retail investors, already weary of the space, could exit in May, right? Leaving only whales and bad actors. Because tell the truth, if you get your head cracked and this is your first time putting money into something, are you 9 times out of 10, are you going to stay? Are you going to keep making the effort to try again? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I honestly feel like I remember the first time I got my head cracked, messing around in Deegan plays, right? I was messing around with DAOs. Steve would tell you that everything just looks so perfect. It looks so inviting. Stake your money. You put $1,000 in. I'm seeing people come back with 20, 27 million, 30 million, 15 million off $1,000 investment, right? It worked in the beginning. And then literally as soon as the rest of the pack came in, people was getting cracked. I'm talking about every single dollar that they were putting in was getting wiped away. It would say things like you can invest whatever you want to, right? Just so I'm clear. But $1,000 investment into a DAO, it'll tell you that the runway, quote unquote, would have been like 14 days. And for those 14 days, you're getting 17,000 APY, 3 million APY, right? Which means basically you put your $1,000 in this pot and every single day you would just watch. It's a scheme to it, right? But every 4 hours or every 24 hours, etc., you would see your balance exponentially rise. And then more investors kept coming in. So the pot just kept growing. People who were smart, as soon as they seen it, they were like, hey, listen, I'm just going to take my money out because I don't know how long this is truly going to last. That was the early adopters who were doing this. When everybody started to get hit to this, DAOs and it's called decentralized autonomous organizations, right? This was a way that you could easily invest a small amount of money and get a huge ROI. Soon as the masses starting getting hip to this, everybody was getting cracked. They was getting rug pulls. So I was seeing people literally, I'm looking at it on chain. I was seeing people put 10,000, 40,000, 100,000, $1 million. They were putting it into these pools, into these DAOs, and the liquidity pool would get wiped out. Moment's notice. You know how? The developers, the people who actually created the project. And then there were other people who learned how to manipulate the system. So these are the type of things that you guys are up against. So when you hear people talk about we need regulations in this space, this is the reason why. We were doing incredible and didn't need regulations, right? It was just a kind of understood fact. But now, as we're trying to go to the next level, we're leaving the infancy stage. This is crypto on the main stage. And in order for us to keep getting institutions, Fortune 500 companies, other governments, other institutions to come into the space and invest millions, billions, even trillions of dollars, we need rules of the land. It's a must. It's a dire need at this point. So that's why everybody is harping on regulations. All right. So that just is just one instance. I'm gonna tell you guys about another one. So anybody familiar with a rapper named Rick Ross? If you are, drop a one in the chat. All right. So everybody's familiar with the boss, right? So I was super, super taken aback when I seen him come out and say, I'm dropping a coin. This is not a pump and dump, right? He literally said this out of his mouth. He said, this is not a pump and dump. This is an official token. And he said, I'm launching it on Solana. Hold on. Hold on. And y'all passed the vibe check in the comments. I love it. I'm actually going to share something with y'all. This is wild, man. All right. So without me just talking this too much, Ross, this was recent, right? Ross was seeing that everybody in Miami and just globally was talking about crypto. And at the time, crypto was booming, right? This is probably when Bitcoin was maybe 30,000, 40,000, right? So this is just so you guys have context. At the time, they had the Forbes 30 for 30, right? And almost every single person on that list was involved in crypto and blockchain technology, right? They were either innovators, they were investing in the infrastructure, or they were just Bitcoin early investors, right? They got in super early. Ross was not in crypto whatsoever, right? But he was hearing about it so much. Then rappers started releasing NFTs, putting their projects on the blockchain, right? Shout out to Tory Lanez. Ross puts this up in his story. Check this out.
See, that's the thing about Rick Ross. That's the thing about the boss. The metaverse, crypto, y'all getting so much money. Where you at? Where you at? Show us. And I don't mean, oh, I'm trying to put money. Man, I got a lot of money. I ain't need that fake money. But show us, show my homies what the metaverse about. One of y'all big boy crypto dudes, woo crypto picture takers, step up and say, this is what we gonna do, Rose. Where you at? Huh? Yeah, everybody giggling, looking around. All that fake rich money, where it's at. Educate us. I know some rich homies who get money, Bitcoin, right? Yeah, boy, getting real money, but come on, man, bring it to the Renzel verse, man. Where you at?
Listen, man, this guy is wild, right? But this is textbook. First, they mock you, right? They on the outside looking in. They hear about something, they mock it. They talk down on it. They make jokes about it. And then before you know it, boom, they in the space. All right, so I'm gonna tell you guys the story of Rick Ross's boss token. Now understand, again, here's another connection point. It was launched on guess what blockchain? Solana. Two, I know 100% for a fact he did not launch the token, right? The team or whomever he used or to collaborate with to drop a token, this is just what he decided to do. And it's cool. But this just shows you where we are as an industry as a whole, where celebrities understand the power and how fast you can create revenue streams, how you can build capital digitally just by leveraging your celebrity. So again, on Valentine's Day, show you guys how this unfolds. So on Valentine's Day, he stepped into the world of cryptocurrency and he launched what was called the Boss token on the Solana blockchain. He promoted it as an exclusive investment opportunity, one that, in his words, was quote unquote not a pump and dump. But as the days unfolded, the reality was completely different. So the token had an actual pre-sale. It lasted for 24 hours, but this was all the time that they needed. So I'm gonna give y'all some facts and figures, and this is actual facts. I did the research myself. So investors eagerly poured in their money. They raised 1,560 Solana. At the time, Solana was $190 per coin. So that's almost 300 grand. The exact number is $296,400 in Solana, right? People were super excited. Like, yes, I'm a fan. I'm a crypto speculator. I cannot wait. He's dropping his token. And if there's anybody who you would kind of believe in for just their celebrity, right? The hustler spirit is Ross, right? So I didn't think nothing of it, but I definitely wasn't touching it because I knew for a fact the coin didn't do anything. I knew when he posted that video a while ago, he was making fun of crypto. I knew that this day was coming. And I'm just a utility player, right? So I only want to invest in projects that solve real world problems. It's a real world solution to what we face out here in this world. I knew for a fact the boss token was not it, right? No hating, just my observation, 10-year veteran. So everybody was so enthused trying to get into this project. And it was one thing I noticed immediately from the pre-sale, nobody got their tokens. According to multiple investors who complained under his promotional post, that promotional video, when he was talking about the launch of the token, everybody who invested from the pre-sale, they never even got their tokens distributed. The main wallet it went into never distributed the funds. It never allocated the money to the other wallets. It was nowhere to be found. That was the first red flag. All right. Then I realized, all right, boom, this is just a bubble waiting to burst. So I go to the blockchain. I do more blockchain analysis, and I see there's one wallet, just one, that held 94% of the total supply. This is a classic red flag in the world of crypto. That's the first thing that you could even look for, right? How evenly distributed is this project? That means one player held 94% of it. If that one wallet would have just went offline or just sold everything, it would have rugged right there in that moment, right? But story goes on. So I peeped the red flag from the jump. Rather than being evenly distributed amongst the investors, everything was in that one wallet. So this means that it was basically under the control of one single entity, one single person. So despite the warning signs, the hype was still there. Everybody was still super excited and they wanted to get in. So the hype itself, just the hype, pushed the boss token to a market cap from $1 million all the way up to 20 million. At the peak, it went up to on certain exchanges that had it, right? Somebody reported that it even went up to 50 million. I only was able to see the 20 million. That's where I stopped, right? So at the peak, traders believed that they were on to something special, that this boss token was it. But behind the scenes, the true orchestrators, the people behind the project, they were already making their moves. So this is when the sell-off began. So the one main wallet started to distribute the tokens to multiple smaller wallets. I think it was 8. And this is when the inevitable dump began. So one by one, each one of the wallets offloaded all of their holdings. This caused the snowball effect. Basically, this is when you cascade. When they see one seller selling off, another seller sells off, the cycle just continues to go, right? And then everybody's offloading their coins. Guess who they're offloading their coins on? The new investors, the new gamblers, the green, the people who have no clue what they're doing. They just see a token. Oh, I'm a fan. Let me put some money in it. This is why at Skyton Academy, we harp on education because we protect you from being victims to nonsense like this. So all the liquidity was going out the project once everybody started to sell. The investors who had bought in at the peak, they found themselves trapped, stuck, holding the bag. There was nothing, no way you could salvage your investment, nothing. It was all gone. Anybody who actually tried to sell, you got an error message that literally said 99.99% was the fee, right? That was the first red flag. And then the second thing was the liquidity impact. So the liquidity impact is anytime you're trying to sell something, how is this going to impact the liquidity pool, the remaining money that's there, right, in the project? It said 99%. That means anybody who sold instantaneously, it was going to impact the liquidity pool. So people didn't have no way of getting out of the project. So whatever you put into it, it was stuck. It's there, right? This is proof that people are being farmed and it's all happening on the Solana network, the Solana blockchain. And it's doing Solana a huge disservice. So people who purchased at 20 million, when that joint ran up and spiked to 50, allegedly, nobody could get out. You were met with failure. This is a textbook rug pull. So this is a cautionary tale that I want to kind of just lay out for everybody. This is cautionary. You guys always want to get into meme coins because you have FOMO. You're seeing there are some people who get lucky, right? Who might put in $1,000, they may make 250,000 or 300,000, whatever the case is, right? You see this and you're like, I want to get into crypto because of that. That ain't it. You're gonna fuck around and you're gonna find out. So Ross promised all these investors this was not gonna be a typical pump and dump scheme, but the blockchain data told the actual truth. One single wallet held the majority of the supply, and they strategically offloaded their bags once the token hit its peak price and left all of the retail investors stuck with worthless bags. So once again, this is a harsh reality. Celebrity backed tokens, I don't care who you are. You could be a president, you could whomever, it doesn't matter. These tokens are never designed to benefit the people who put money into them. So for those of you who thought you was riding with the boss, the only thing you was left with was a painful lesson in the dangers of hype, greed, and memes. So my final takeaway on that, if this saga teaches you anything, meme coins are not investments. It's literally high stakes gambling. You're rolling the dice. You got better odds at a casino. And the house always wins. The overwhelming majority of these tokens are designed for insiders to profit while the masses continue to lose. Stay away from meme coins. They rarely have any utility. They exist purely to capitalize on hype. So if you're looking for long-term wealth, meme coins will definitely not get you there. Now take that with a grain of salt. There are some people who have made a killing in meme coins, right? But we're talking about some people who literally sit in front of a computer for 20 hours out the day, right? They eat, sleep, and breathe meme coins. They stay in the trenches. They are Deegan players. This is what they specialize in. There is a rhyme and a reason to it, but 99% of the time, it is not for the average investor or the average person just looking to get rich quick. It's not for you. If you're a gambler, again, go to the casino. And for those of you who still aren't going to take heed, if you insist on gambling and you want to continue to, dabble in memes, or you still interested in memes, that's cool, right? That's on you. Just be prepared to lose everything because most of these memes crash and burn, and only a tiny fraction sustain any kind of value. So if you can't afford to lose it, don't play the game. All right. And last but not least, celebrities are not crypto experts. They're literally cashing in on their influence, right? On the followers' ignorance. More often, they have no clue how blockchain works, how liquidity functions, um, how even their own tokenomics are structured. If I asked Ross, if I had to sit down with Ross and I asked him this question, he wouldn't be able to tell me any of this, right? They're simply leveraging their brand, their celebrity to milk the people that are vulnerable, people who don't understand the risk and believe in hype. So at the end of the day, it's not the celebrity who gets wrecked. It's the everyday investor who bought into this illusion. And I got one more. I got one more story for y'all, but I still got a question for you. And y'all can drop your answer in the chat. Y'all still trying to rock with memes? Still trying to rock with memes? The metaverse, crypto, gurus, all that. He did all that just to get into the game. People got cooked. All right, just checking. Y'all passing the vibe check. I like that. Y'all over there sounding like Skyton students. I like that. You know what I mean? So last but not least, so who all is familiar with a guy named Dave Portnoy? He is the founder of Barstool Sports. Have you guys ever heard of him? His name is Dave Portnoy, right? And y'all definitely passing the vibe check. I love it. So for those of you who do not know, he's the founder of Barstool Sports. And so he's a well-known internet personality with millions of social media followers. Just to put this in context, he got 5 million followers on Instagram and 3.6 million on Twitter or X, right? So he's got massive influence. But when it comes to crypto, his track record is all in meme coins, right? And I'm not going to say all 100% because he did mention XRP, right? But his track record is full of controversy, especially when it comes to these memes, right? So over the years, he's promoted multiple meme coins, including the latest, right? Jail Stool was the first. The second, and this is current, all of these things just happened. Greed. The second one was, and the last one is Greed 2. So these coins gained super quick attention because of his following, right? But all of them, every single one of them, they all ended the same exact way. The people who invested because of his influence lost their money. So greed token, February, I think this was just, I don't think this one was on Valentine's Day. I think this was on the day after Valentine's Day. I think this was the 15th, if I'm not mistaken. But he launched a coin, right? He bought up to 36% of the total supply, right? Within hours, he sold all of his holdings in one single transaction. So he made about 260,000. I think it was 258 and some change. This caused the price of the token to crash by 99%. So every single person who was in the project, they had worthless tokens. They was cooked. Instead of stopping there, he then launched another version of greed called Greed 2. And this is where he owned 27% of the total supply. He warned everybody that the token would be volatile. Now, I give him that. He said it, like it's going to be volatile. And that people shouldn't invest more than they're willing to lose, right? Or more than they can afford to lose. That part I can respect. But many people saw this automatically off the bat. That was a red flag and it's going to be a rug pull. This wasn't the first time he had been involved in failing meme coins, right? So anybody in a right mind should have stopped, right? They shouldn't even been in that play. But of course, FOMO gets people all the time, right? Because same thing happened with Jail Stool, and he was even connected to the Libra situation with the Argentinian president, that Libra project. All of them launched on Solana, and all of them lost most of their value shortly after he endorsed them. So now crypto experts and investors, they're like, listen, anytime a celebrity is endorsing something in crypto, you should automatically peep the red flag. You should peep the play. Just because somebody is famous, that does not mean that the token is going to be a good investment, especially if you guys aren't doing proper research and have an understanding. People are going to lose their money super quick. Now, this is the part that I like. He's actually facing legal troubles, the same as Javier Milei from Argentina, the Argentinian president. So right now, because of both of their involvement into these meme coins and what has happened, it sparked legal scrutiny. Right? There's a lot of reports right now suggesting that both of them can face legal consequences. They can be sued or even jail time for alleging these pump and dump schemes. Now, President Milei, he is actually right now, he's they on his neck. They got his foot to the fire. They're actually calling for him to step down as president, right? Because of this. The one thing I didn't mention when I was running down his story, after the rug pull, after everybody starts selling, right? In that moment, he deletes the tweet and then puts up another tweet and says, I never promoted the project. I only posted it. So now he's playing semantics. But I haven't read anywhere at all where he gave any money back. So again, that's another slap in the face. Not only did people get cooked based off his guidance or any of these dudes' guidance, but now you put out a tweet that says, I only posted it, I wasn't promoting it. That's wild, man. Listen, that just tells you right there. I'm gonna give you guys the gem of all gems. Stay the hell out of meme coins. That's the lesson, right? Do your own research. Don't rely on any of these celebrities or any of these guys, man, because they have huge followings. So all it takes is a couple people that's just green and they don't know any better. And they're setting you up to get cooked. All right. Now, before I get up out of here, I gave you guys three different examples of meme coins that just happened in the past week and the ramifications. The only winners were the insiders, the people that was connected to whoever launched the project, right? The people that was connected to President Milei. That's it. And even um, um, Dave from Barstool. So there was a guy he just interviewed. I can't remember his name. I think it was Dave Haynes or something like that, right? He just did an interview with him. So this is the guy who basically had the connection point with the Argentinian president, right? And whatever team. So he made off with like 200 million. And this guy is young. I think he's under 30, right? He puts out a tweet. He's saying like, yes, I made a certain amount of bread. This is, the Argentinian government's money. I have no interest in keeping it, whatever. But he's trying to figure out in the tweet what to do with the money. He refunds Dave Portnoy from Barstool. He gives him back 5 million because he was one of the people that got cooked in the process, right? He wasn't one of the winning wallets. So he gives him $5 million. He refunds him $5 million back. Do you think, as a retail investor, do you think you actually going to get your money back? If you invest in a meme coin and you get cooked, absolutely not. You get no refunds in crypto. None. I'm telling y'all. Understand, when you're cooked and you on that grill, only thing you could do is sizzle. You done for. All right. So again, at the end of the day, just stay away from meme coins. But here's something that I did want to bring to you guys' attention. So you notice how the connection point for each one of these was: one, they were all meme coins. Two, nobody made any bread off them except for the insiders. And last but not least, they were all launched on the Solana ecosystem. So knowing that, what is the ramifications for Solana? So pretty much over the lifeline of Solana, there's been a ton of different memes, high profile meme schemes and scams. And every single time the consequences are always devastating. It's not just for investors, but it's the entire Solana ecosystem or blockchain. So from Libra's rug pool to the Boss token to Dave Portnoy's three, Greed, Jail Stool, and Greed 2, every one of them, it's always been a failure. But what this does is these events create a crisis of trust in the Solana ecosystem. So the bigger picture is why this is more than just a few scams. Solana's price has been impacted significantly. Just 1 month ago, Solana was trading at about 250. After all of these meme rug pulls that's been going on, it dropped 31%. Right now, it's sitting at about $168. This means billions of dollars have literally left out in market value, gone in days. And this is all because of the scams causing massive sell-offs, and they shatter investor confidence in Solana. Now, the second thing I want to highlight is Solana's reputation was pretty high, right? Even with all of the scams and the rug pulls and all that stuff, it's still a viable project, right? It's easy for anybody to create a project on Solana. And Solana's ecosystem actually has a couple great, strong projects that have real world utility, right? There's depend projects, there's stable coins and DeFi platform that's on there. Jupiter Finance, well, Jupiter, excuse me, Jupiter Exchange is one of the DeFi platforms, right? It's the main exchange on the Solana ecosystem. You got blockchain gaming, you got NFT ecosystems, all of that is all on Solana, right? And then you got some big names that put money behind the ecosystem itself. So it's just a huge risk, but the ramifications are super high because if this continues, this could stop Solana from even being a contender in the space, right? Even being somewhere that people even want to be associated with because there are so many people that are getting wrecked in the process. And there's no like light at the end of the tunnel for them. So also you got to factor in Solana's network congestion, higher fees, right? So every single time these meme coins they launch, they're not just scamming the investors, they clogging up Solana's network. And if you know anything about Solana's network, it was built to handle high speed, low cost transactions. But the truth be told, it hasn't done a good job of that. Solana's network is always down. It's trash, right? So this is something that like serious users and the developers, they really gotta like hone in and focus on and fix. So I think if they do the following things, they can fix this impact to Solana's reputation, right? So stronger anti-scam measures, more focus on utility projects, and then last but not least, I would say regulatory awareness, right? Because even though it's decentralized, the Solana ecosystem itself needs to self-regulate, or they risk government crackdowns. You know what I mean? Which is what we've been dealing with the SEC and their overreach. So I'm gonna hit y'all with this final takeaway, and then we out of here. Meme coins are essentially killing Solana's growth. The past week has shown how a handful of scams can crush an entire blockchain's reputation and market value. If Solana doesn't take action, it risks being labeled as the rug pull chain, causing legitimate projects to flee, and they're gonna move off that blockchain. Investors gotta avoid FOMO-driven meme coins and support real innovation to prevent further damage. So while I feel like Solana is still it's still a good player, right? It has massive potential, but it's at a critical moment. Either it cleans up the meme coin problem that's going on right now, or its reputation is going to just cause it to collapse, and it's no longer going to be a viable blockchain. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But I still got a question for y'all. One last time. Y'all still want to invest in meme coins? Tell me in the chat. All right, long as I'm not talking to myself and somebody heard me. Every single person now, and now I want you guys to tell me this. If you were initially interested in meme coins before we started this call, are you interested in them right now after hearing everything that I just laid out to you? Now, do you understand the power of information? Now, do you understand why we focus on security and teaching cryptocurrency and blockchain technology the right way? There is nobody else who does what Skyton Academy does. This is a fact. This is not an opinion. We've checked. We've scoured other groups. We joined other groups. We've paid for other ebooks, quote unquote, that people have. None of them stand a chance. And again, this is not the boast. This is because we truly care and we really wanted to assess who else is out here who's focused, who's trying to help the people, who's really trying to steer people in the right direction. And it's damn near impossible to find, right? So anybody out there, if you guys are focused on transformative learning for the future of finance and you're doing things the right way, you're not associated with scamming people, you're not trying to take, money from new investors, right? People who's just eager to learn something that's new and emerging, please hit us up. Everybody else, stay clear away. This is why we do what we do. All right. So guys, this is going to conclude Connect Wednesdays, episode 81. The meme, the rug pull rodeo is what we're gonna call this episode. If you guys enjoyed this, you found value in this, whenever this drops, I want you guys to repost this to your community. I want you guys to hit the YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, go off in the chat, and everybody that's inside Skyton Academy, we are going to be dropping a meme coin course for you guys. And these are the type of examples that we are going to have inside of the course. Just so, for those of you who come in after this point, you just truly understand how nasty meme coins and investing in Deegan plays are, right? So we got y'all. We're going to continue to deliver, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Appreciate you. Peace.